So I have an agreement with them that I must sell. I've got to get 25 orders
Right.
to sell because then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to build these vehicles like AMP when you
Right.
take a Mercedes and Jeep and convert those to electric.
Right.
So I haven't been able to get 25 orders so that I can get that. So
Well,
that tells you about AMP.
Right, but I was just wondering, they have shifted over to wheel horse. They're going to actually start looking at doing delivery vehicles, and I assume
Right.
you've got a need for delivery vehicles as well as personal
That is
cars on
correct.
the island. So
That is correct.
Yep.
We are in contact with AMP, and they've been here several times. So we have a great relationship. And once they get their vehicles ready, I'll be ready to introduce them throughout the Caribbean.
right, good. Okay, so
Okay.
I also noticed that you've got at least one Model S there on the island.
It's on the way.
It's on the way. Okay.
It will be the first Model S, Tesla Model S, on the way. Again, that is history making because that vehicle is the hottest vehicle in the world right now, as you know.
Yeah. Caymans, do you drive on the British side of the road or the American side
British
of the road?
side. You drive on the British side. You drive on the British side.
So the vehicles you've spoken of up to this point, if I understand correctly, are all left-hand drive.
That is correct.
So
And
you're,
you
how
will
does
find that most of the people, I would say that all the rental car companies have left-hand drive cars. I would say that 60 to 70% of the people in Grand Cayman prefer left-hand drive cars, American cars, okay?
Okay, right.
So that's quite unusual, but they also know that there's a difference between a U.S. spec vehicle and one that's manufactured for this market, okay?
Right.
They're pretty astute and pretty smart, and they know the difference.
So does everybody, I mean, I could see somebody coming down there and expats living there and they're used to driving on the American side of the road. How long does it take them to sort of adapt to driving on the opposite side?
I don't see that being an issue. You just got to concentrate.
Right.
Once you concentrate and once you start driving, you got to stay focused.
Right.
Not an issue. I have not seen that an issue. Obviously, if it had been an issue, they would have restricted the importation
You're right.
of left-hand drive vehicles.
Right.
So that's never been an issue.
Yeah, well, that was, I know I had been talking with with Dennis Lister. I don't know if you know Dennis or not over on Bermuda.
Yes, I
but
know Dennis Lister. He knows me.
Right.
There's not many people that don't know me. Yes.
So one of the things, I mean, Dennis has wanted to get there, and Lloyd Tilford, who he works with, have wanted to get some
I know him.
Teslas there, but they had to be right-hand drive. Well, now we finally have right-hand drive Teslas starting to be manufactured. So I think that would solve that issue for you.
That is correct. They will have them in the UK, and obviously I've got some relationships with because I do sell left-hand drive, right-hand drive, European specs, and American vehicles. So I sell everything. The Nissan Leaf that I sold is a right-hand drive.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a right-hand drive Nissan Leaf. So that was out of Europe.
So how many vehicles can you sort of estimate at this point? How many electric vehicles are there on Grand Cayman now?
Right now, there's approximately 25 vehicles on the road now.
Okay.
And that number is getting ready to grow significantly because once budget gets rolling, they're going to have a fleet of electric vehicles.
Okay, and
it won't be long before the other rental car companies get on board because they're not going to let Budget be the only company marketing and selling electric vehicles.
So what's been the experience? I mean, obviously this car only came into service here relatively recently, as I understand it. What's been the experience, Budget's experience with renting it? I mean, people walk in, they have a choice between you can buy a gas car and you're going to pay, X numbers of dollars for fueling it, or you can go with electric, and by the way, it costs less or nothing to refuel it. Talk a little bit about that. What's been their experience with renting that car?
The response has been great, first of all, and don't forget the demographics for the people that want to drive an electric car is the best in the world. They're educated, high net worth, and they believe in the movement. And that's the demographics all over the world, and everybody want to play in that market.
Right.
And most of them are very educated, and they know what's going on. So most of the people that come in fit those demographics. And you have a gas car versus an electric car, they will want the electric car every time. However, the Wigo, as you know, is only 2 seats.
Yep.
And that's a barrier, okay?
Right. Yep.
So then we get the Nissan Leaf, which has 4 doors. And as you know, there will be a Wigo SUV on the market probably late 2015.
Okay.
And I cannot wait until that
Right.
vehicle gets
Yeah.
here, because that's going to be very, very popular throughout the Caribbean.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about these charging stations that are up there. How are those financed? Do people pay for the electricity? Is it part of the rental contract? I mean, how are these being paid for?
All right, well, let's start off with the first one, which was Cayman Bay.
Okay.
Cayman Bay, when they were the first to have a charge station, and the dark group made it quite clear to me they did not want to charge for the use of the charge station.
Oh, okay.
That to me was very smart, because what they're using that is a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Get people to come and shop and play at their location.
Right.
Okay, and that has been working. That's why they have 2, and soon they will have 10 charging stations.
Wow.
As I ramp up and sell more vehicles,
Right.
which will be all free. Then we have, the Cayman Car Museum is also free. So they have that same kind of philosophy. They want people to come there,
Right.
come to the museum in
Sure.
your electric car, come in, see the cars, plug up, free.
Yep.
All the rest of the locations will eventually be, they will be a charge. We will charge for the use, okay?
Yeah.
As you know, I'm partnered with Hugo Station out of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Have been instrumental in working with me. In fact, they joined me some time ago, and I'm very proud to have them involved with me now. Then you saw that we also have the first solar panel charge station
Yeah.
at Governor Square. That's turned on now, and that's doing well. Getting a lot of PR from that, because obviously that's the first one in this area in the Caribbean. So that's getting a lot of attention. So from one end of the island to the other end, all the charge stations right now are free, but they will eventually be fee-based.
Have a fee. Obviously you have to have that done. Let's
Yes.
talk. Let's talk about some of the power here. Obviously, your electricity has to come from somewhere. There's a generation plant. I didn't take the time, unfortunately, to do the research on this, but I assume, like Aruba or like Jamaica, these are probably, I'm guessing, diesel generators that providing your electric power. So that's not inexpensive to generate that electricity. Typically, As I understand it, the electricity rates there are pretty high in the Caribbean. So how does that work out in terms of the cost effectiveness of an electric car versus a gasoline powered car?
Okay, very good question, Bill. One of the reasons why CUC purchased not one but two electric vehicles, they wanted to find out what is it going to take to charge these vehicles. And that was very smart because what they've done now, they know that they need more energy because once we get 1,000 electric vehicles, they don't have the capacity
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So they're looking currently at alternative energy.
Okay.
And because of the electric vehicles, that is driving that movement. They now use diesel generators, and as you know, it does take a lot of money to run that, and that's why the utility cost is high.
Right.
In fact, it's 40% versus in most in the U.S. is 12 cents
Yeah. Yeah.
per kilowatt hour. That's a big difference. But on average, it would cost you about $3.50 to drive 100 miles on electric vehicles here.
Okay.
And the gas is about $6 per gallon. So that variation you can see,
Oh, yeah.
it's still more advantageous
Yeah.
to drive electric.
Yeah. And particularly once you get enough sunlight, enough solar panels and things going there, that's
right.
going to help a lot.
That's going to help a lot.
What's your wind potential there?
Wind, solar is great. In fact, there's a company that I've been talking to that I'm hoping will come here in the next month or so. NRG out of the U.S.
Yep.
Yeah,
David Crane's group.
Yes, and they know a lot about alternative energy. So there's a possibility they may be able to assist us in that endeavor.
Okay, very good, great. Well, look, you've been really more than generous with your time here. I think we've pretty much covered most of the questions that I had, and I really wish you the best. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I just admire immensely the effort that you put into this, and wish you much success with it.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, good. Well,
when you have something that you believe in as much as this, you never give up on your dream. You continue.
Yeah.
And I have a passion for it, the same as Elon Musk, the same as Charles Bronson. We're kind of, a lot of people say we're driven by what we believe in, and we are driven. We're a little different, but we got drive, and we want to try to change the world one vehicle at a time.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much. I've had John Felder with me, the president of Cayman Automotive, and this is a story, obviously, we want to check back with you every now and then, John, to see how it's progressing.
Anytime, you just send me a note, and you and I can talk again. Happy 4th of July, and I look forward to speaking to you again. All right?
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye now.